Welcome to Oasis Tokyo, where we explore the lives of professionals living and working in Japan. So Eric has worked on lots of different photography projects, traveling across Japan and to other countries as well. So Eric, in this side of the episode, we'd love to learn more about the types of things that you've worked on throughout your career. So I guess it's a super basic question, but has there been any specific project or projects that are particularly memorable that you've worked on that you could share with us today?
Yeah, I guess, man, last year we had a pretty busy year, but we traveled to Africa last fall for 2 weeks. We were doing a documentary series for a hotel chain out
Yeah.
there. That was pretty epic. Like safari kind of thing wasn't on my bucket
Wow.
list, but is it for you? Like, do you?
I've never been, but it's definitely on my bucket
Is
list.
it
It's
okay?
something I would love to do
Yeah.
once in my life.
We were out there shooting animals, which isn't my forte so much, but more of a documentary film style. And every morning at like 5 o'clock, we'd go out with the big cameras and on the truck, we were singing like the Jurassic Park theme song, like waiting for like elephants to appear.
I would be singing The Lion King, I think,
We
if
had
I
some of that
was.
too, but it was more boys, so we were kind of,
Okay.
and yeah, every morning we'd go out. I just found myself loving it more and more, and it was kind of an unexpected.
Was that a commercial shoot or?
So we were filming a series of documentaries, kind of short documentaries for a hospitality hotel chain,
Okay.
and they have a luxury resort in
Fantastic.
Tanzania. We were on like a private island for a period of time, and then
Wow.
safari after that.
Wow. But has there been maybe, so that's like a location, right? That's like super memorable. Has there been any specific, I guess, like people or, because I know you mentioned you also do portrait
Right.
photography as well, that I guess people might be interested to know about the projects
Yeah,
you've
there's been a
done.
couple. So again, as I mentioned, I'm kind of a Jekyll and Hyde in that, like, I'm sometimes doing automotive, and other times I'm working with celebrities, talent.
Yeah.
Last year we shot Rosé from Blackpink.
Wow.
We did a shoot for her with Tiffany. That was kind of fun. We had large format camera, and we had about
Wow.
5 minutes to work with her.
Right,
So
yeah, it's super important to be, I
she,
guess, that Japanese mindset of the specific objective and
in and out, get the
timeline.
shot. Yeah, she was super cool though, and we got a really nice shots. We were doing film as well, so it took a
Okay,
little bit longer.
okay.
I've had the pleasure to work with Ohtani Shohei in Los Angeles. We
Wow,
had him in a Porsche. He was previously a Porsche ambassador.
wow,
We also worked with Asano Tadanobu-san, who
wow.
was in the Shogun drama series. We were doing a cover shoot for Hollywood Reporter, and we were planning to shoot it in Japan. And then his manager called up one day and said, "Hey, we're going to be in Los Angeles. Why don't you guys come out here and we'll do it here?" I'm like, okay,
Is
you
that
know.
quite common to sort of have like last minute location changes? Because I guess from my type A perspective, I would like to know where I'm going to be, what, like, I guess the background visual is going to be, even the climate that I might be working with. But that would obviously very much change if it was going to originally be somewhere in Japan and then suddenly in LA.
Yeah, it can happen, especially when it's smaller crew. And in this case, I was kind of producing the shoot as well, so we had that luxury to be able to kind of pick up and move to Los Angeles. And
Wow.
I literally arrived, and that day I went downtown and was scouting some locations. We were in the parking lot of his management agency, and the next day he shows up. I had a couple ideas. We spent the afternoon. He's a very prominent figure, but we still had kind of the liberty to have him on the streets in Los Angeles,
Wow.
kind of playing into some of the American things. I had him eating like a hot dog from 7-Eleven and like a big gulp. And he was such a charismatic but funny guy too. So the type of imagery that we were able to get. I had worked with him a couple times in Japan, so we kind of knew each other too.
Oh,
So
wow.
coming back to that trust element, that comfortableness with each other, uh, it makes all the difference in the images.
So obviously these are like really like like positive like memories of these like very people who have been quite impactful that you've worked with. But has there been any like I guess challenging locations or like challenging projects where people have maybe things didn't go quite as you were expecting or hoped or planned that I guess you could give us the
Yeah, I
converse
feel
side
like
as well?
all the time. But with car stuff on location, like obviously weather, you
Right.
know, we can't really control that so much. But being in Hokkaido in the winter for that winter themed shoot, and we're just snowed out, and we're all in the morning just kind of trying to unshovel the car
Oh
and
my
things
gosh.
like that. Had a shoot where we had the car on the beach in Hokkaido, where the water actually comes up, and you see this cool contrast between snow, beach, and then the water. And we had this car
Wow.
on location with this guy surfing in negative million degree weather, And, we're flying drones and getting all fogged up with snow, and, lots of problems just present itself on set. But I think there's always a limitation, no matter whether it's you're making Avatar 4 or you're doing a small little editorial shoot, there's always a limitation, that challenge. And how we work within those parameters and do the best that we can is kind of what makes us professionals, I guess. And it's fun too, it's like, okay, I have 30 seconds. How can I nail this shot with Rosé or something? I kind of like that actually, rather than having, okay, you have her for 5 hours. Let's make this many images. Rather than hearing that, I'd rather just kind of jump in, get the shot, and be done with it.
So something about kind of having that like need, that pressure, or like that timeline can make things actually be like, you just have to be instinctive with what you end up doing.
You kind of have to step out of your shell a little bit too. You might get too relaxed if you had so much time. But it's like, I have 30 seconds. What can I do to get the absolute best expression from that person?
Yeah. Do you think that dealing with that, like having that like challenge in a career setting impacts at all how you like think in your personal life as well? Like when it comes to, I guess, like decision making or problem solving?
A little bit, yeah. When you're on set and you have to make a decision, people are watching you and they want to see confidence. They want to see, no hesitation. And that can apply in social dynamics too, and other environments.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure.
Fantastic. And so obviously, working in other countries as well, but you've also worked across a lot of different areas of Japan, in the city and also in the countryside. Just wondering if, your travels to Japan have maybe sort of changed how you approach your work, or you perceive your work at all?
I don't know if the locations have influenced me too much, but it's a lot of fun to see other aspects of Japan. And if I wasn't a photographer, I'm not sure I would be in Tokyo. I love Kyushu or Fukuoka, or kind of places where you can find a balance between like nature and city life. Tokyo is kind of more leaning into just like, concentrated city. Yeah. Which is cool. It's the reason I came here in the first place. But, my job dictates that I kind of have to be here for now anyway.
That's super interesting. I would wonder as well, like if, through work traveling through Japan, obviously with Japanese roots, whether you sort of feel like you get to develop more of a connection with the country through your work as well. But is that the case at all?
I think it's the opposite.
Oh, okay.
When I first came to Japan, I was super like adamant on mastering Japanese, mastering kanji. And
right.
I had studied a little bit in New York, and then I came out and went to a language school in Osaka, and quickly learned that everything I was saying was technically not correct. On the phone, I wasn't supposed to speak the way I was speaking. I had a Kansai dialect, which you don't do really in business interactions, and my confidence plummeted, and I stopped talking to people. I just didn't want to speak to them because I was pretty sure I was making a mistake. Then I realized, like, well, I'm in Japan. What am I doing not talking to people? So I also remembered that I'm a creative too, and we can kind of take liberties to be a little more relaxed, and realize that it's actually a weapon for me. I can walk in and meet a celebrity, and even if I'm not sure they speak English, I could put out my hand and say like, nice to meet you, and they'll be instantly a little bit relaxed. I'm not going to be disrespectful or anything, and obviously I can jump in with Japanese, but it gives you, as a foreign creative in Japan, a bit of an advantage for sure.
So you feel like it's quite like a unique perspective and a communication tool that you're able to provide.
I've had Japanese people be like, that's so unfair, Eric, that you can do that. Because you can kind of cheat a little bit, and you can, kind of break a couple walls instantly, whereas Japanese are required or expected to be a little more formal and polite.
Yeah, I think that's for me also been my experience, building a career in Japan. Like sometimes it's important to, lean into what is the expectation or the cultural norm, but sometimes, having that like other card like in your pocket that you can sort of use can make things like easier for the other person as well, and also I guess more interesting for them.
The Japanese appreciate that too, right?
Yeah,
You're
definitely.
a foreigner in Japan, like what can you bring to the table that isn't already here?
Fantastic. Well, I mean, it sounds like you've had really fantastic projects and experiences throughout your photography career in Japan, and it's been very interesting to learn about. So in our next episode, we'd love to have that experience that you can give to our listeners to tell them how you think it's able to build a successful creative career here in Japan.